for guys like Eberle and Nugent-Hopkins than the rest of the team, just because of the tenure, the stuff that they went through that others didn't?
I think you got to separate it, that this group accomplished this task together. And they've done that, and the emotion of this season is shared by this group. The fact that there's been 2 or 3 players that have been here for a long time and haven't had a chance to play in a playoff game yet, we're extremely excited for them. We're proud that they stuck through it, and proud that they've been a part of this and been able to maybe change their game a little bit to help us get there. And but I don't think you can separate it and say you've got more emotion for 1 or 2 guys, because it's this group that got us here.
This team has the potential to make some history. No player has won. Oilers player has won the scoring race since the 80s. No Oilers team has won the division since the 80s. Is that something you guys are aware of? Is it something you can use as motivation?
I think I know we're all aware of some of those accomplishments that may be reached between now and the end of the season, but I don't think it becomes a priority. I don't think Connor or Leon or anybody like that's putting themselves out in front of the team to accomplish individual goals by any means. It's about this group and this team, and completed one task. The next one will happen over the remaining 6 games, trying to get the best position possible we can have and preparing for the playoffs. That's the next task, and then after that it's about the team and the playoffs themselves. So the individual accomplishments, the recognition for Talbot and those type of guys is great, but they'd be the first to tell you it's about the whole rather than the parts.
Todd, I wanted to ask you about Patrick Maroon, but more specifically his role in the dressing room and off the ice. Just in talking to some of the players, it sounds like he would be maybe a glue guy or a guy that people rally around a little bit. When you guys got him from Anaheim, did you know that's who he was in the room as well? Did you know that you were getting that piece?
They, different personalities and different characters are needed to keep a team together, and you have this, the serious captain, and you have the comical guy, you have the rah guys in the locker room, and Patty provides a unique calming element. He has a knack to him to calm things down. Guys are attracted to him. He's got a bit of a sense of humor. All of those things come out in the locker room, and it's effective. Were we aware of it? We knew probably a little bit more about Patty Maroon than people think. He played in St. Louis for Kelly Chase's junior team, and Kelly and I are very close. So we had a unique bird's eye view of what he did there and the type of character he was. He's had his own share of struggles in different ways to become who he is in the league, and I think those players that struggle and emerge like he has, they're pretty strong, not physically strong, but mentally strong, and we like that as well.
Leon Draisaitl, he was drafted as a centerman and came out of junior as a centerman, and now he's playing the wing, and him and McDavid have the most points of any duo in the league. Did you see them coming together this well, and does their success make you perhaps rethink where he plays?
His success has been, I think having the taste of those first 40-some games in the NHL set him up for future success. It didn't come easy. It came hard. He had some setbacks, took it upon himself to fix, I don't know if imperfections is the right word, but fix a few things in his game, his skating, just become more of a man. And as a result, he's been able to become very confident in his skill set and apply it. As far as rethinking of where we're going to play him, again, I know I'm going to play him on the right side with Connor tomorrow night. And where we are 10, 15 games from now down the road, I don't know. But we'll worry about right now. Joe Pavelski's, we're going to see him tomorrow night. He's going to be on the wing or in the middle. I don't know where he's going to play. I don't know where Jumbo plays anymore. I guess what I'm trying to say is that Leon plays in the middle while he's playing on the wing and Connor moves over. It's interesting the positions and how we label them, because most of it has to do with face-offs. After that, everyone's all over the place anyhow as forwards. And, you start with the label, you drop the puck, and then you just go and play. And you have to be interchangeable is the way I look at it.
You guys have won 7 of 8 for third time this year. Is your team playing better or differently at this point with a 7 of 8 stretch than you were, in the middle of the season or at the beginning of the season?
Well, I think we've improved throughout the year. I do like when you take that first stretch of games. I don't know, we were 7-1 or something like that out of the gate. I recall being a little bit leery about how loose we were, trading chances and just scoring goals. We've tightened that up somewhat. I don't even remember the second 7-game streak personally right now, but we should be improving as the year goes on. But emotionally, it hasn't taken us up any higher or dropped us any lower. We should be even keel.
Todd, Zack Kassian, he keeps getting goals taken away. What were you thinking last night when they took another goal away from Zack?
The poor guy. Like I said last night, they should have a separate column for Cass just on disallowed goals. I think you'd probably have more than the allowed ones. And last night, in a few of the cases earlier, he was the guilty party, going to the net too hard, maybe running interference. He had nothing to do with the play last night other than shooting it in the empty net and putting his hands in the air. And, unfortunately, the referees made a mistake. They were the first to admit it. We can't yell and scream at him. We can't change it. But I feel for Cass because he's worked hard, and it would be nice to see him rewarded more often for the work he does.
And the other question on Gryba, you obviously like the fact that he's a big body because in the dying seconds he was on the ice, not some of your other defensemen. So what do you like about him?
I like a lot of things about
Gryba. He's a 6 or a 7 defenseman.
I like Gryba's physicality. I like his willingness to sacrifice his body in and around the blue paint for block shots. I like his ability to penalty kill. I think he's one of our best defensemen at breaking the puck out below the goal line. He may not be the most fleet of foot. He may not be the most creative offensive defenseman. But he fits a role against some of those heavy forechecking teams. He does a very admirable job in those situations, and some nights you need that versus, the fleet-footed skater, if you will.
You mentioned Pavelski. Wherever he is, you have to keep an eye on him. What did you see from Joe during your long stretch in San Jose that allowed himself to turn himself into such a good player, especially for a guy who obviously, as the league got faster, skating's never really been his thing, but he's thrived? For
me, Joe is one of the top 2 or 3 practice players I've been around. And what does that mean? He sets up situations and he practices them. He knows something's going to happen in a game. And once we're done all the systematic stuff or whatever, instead of just flipping pucks in the stands or shooting them off posts, he sets up situations. He gets people to come and help him, and he's improved immensely because of that. His hand-eye coordination's phenomenal. He's an incredible athlete when it comes to anything to do with hand-eye, golf, putting, deflections, tip-ins, and he's got a brain to match. He's a tremendous player.